down here, you did 90 days of treatment, and your girlfriend, now wife, but girlfriend at the time, did she ever come down and visit? Did she?
She came down the day I got out of Palm Partners.
Okay.
And now I see this as a terrible idea. We stayed in a hotel for a couple days for her to see me before I went to the halfway house.
Okay.
Which now, they told me it was a bad idea, but I didn't see it then. Like, what are you talking about? Like, hey, I'm sober, I'm not gonna use or anything. Like, all cool people stay in hotels out of rehab.
Right.
You know? But that was really my sick way of thinking. Like, I didn't think it was a big deal.
Well, thank God you didn't end up, misbehaving to such an extent. But yeah, it's interesting how you look back now and go, wow, what was I thinking?
Most people in my situation didn't have a woman like I did,
right.
to where, don't do drugs, don't drink, don't do anything. Most people in this environment have other people like them.
Right. Well, and the fact that she was able to stick by you this whole time, and you were away all that time, then you stayed for halfway. So she's really like willing to go the long game with you, and it's got to be difficult for you both, right?
Yes.
Because you're obviously a very loving man, you value family, and you'll share. I want to acknowledge both of you for having that strength and that love and that commitment, and that's again part of the adultiness.
It was, and it's South Florida. There's beautiful women everywhere.
Yeah.
So a lot of people, in my same situation, ended up not being with the same person. I remember a lot of people at first told me, like, you're not gonna stick with your girlfriend. I'm like, yes, I am. Like, you don't know me. Like, I'm different, which I wanted to be at the time, because everyone else, I was seeing a pattern of starting to use again, even people in the halfway houses, which, my halfway house, I guess, I don't know if it's not there anymore. We'll tell you about it. I saw a lot of people going in and out, but the owner of the halfway house was awesome. There was a couple, but I'd go to pay my rent sometimes, and they would say, hey, you owe this much. I'm like, less than what it is. I'm like, no, I owe this much. This is what I want to owe you, because I was getting my integrity back. Because from being, a loser, scam artist, I'd scam anybody. So I was like, no way, I'm paying what I owe. And they're like, Pat, the owner says you owe this. I'm like, okay, which, I didn't have much money. I was in the halfway house working, but I wasn't going to take any more handouts. Like, I knew, like, I had to be an adult now. I guess I was 25 at the time. And I'd come back multiple times to do that. And, hey, you owe this much. I'm like, no, I don't. And the owner says you owe this. I'm like, okay. And like, me and him never even really talked about it. So after about 4 months, I moved out of the halfway house with two guys I was in treatment with at Palm Partners. They've been at the halfway house a few months. I was like, you know what, I'm ready. I'm, fully self-sufficient. I even handled a lot of my court stuff while I was at the halfway house, like flying back for court and then coming back home, because I was actually terrified of being back home. Like, just driving through Birmingham, I'm like, I feel like I shouldn't be driving by this exit. Like, I actually felt bad. So I would literally go to court, come back home the next day. To get away from it as soon as I could. I'm like, I can't be up there. And it's South Florida. I mean, everything's like happy down here. But once again, that's how you make it. Do you want to be, are you grateful or not?
Right.
One's perception is one reality, or what is it? One reality is one perception. Which one?
Perception is reality.
Okay, there you go. See, I knew you knew a thing or two.
Well, it just is. It's your, right? Like, I mean, like this.
It's your brain.
Right, and all it is it's got a blue thing on it, right? And from your perception, you're seeing eyes and a mouth and a nose, but it's your reality.
It is.
Right, so what happens is everyone's got their own perception, and it's their reality. That doesn't make it right or wrong. It's just our unique experience. And the problem is sometimes you could be telling me about the eyes, the nose, the mouth, all of that, and I'm like, you're full of crap. I don't even know what you're talking about. You need a UA. You are, you must be using again, right? And it's really it is your. Perception is 100%. It's the interpretation.
Exactly.
And the meaning we give it.
And you control all of that.
100%.
Which is what I learned from Stop Blaming Other People, that it was all me, which is hard to swallow, especially as a man, a prideful man, even before I was getting sober, that's just, I guess, instinct. Like, hey, we can do stuff. We're strong. We don't need help.